NYCU Sports Podcast Show. I'm your host, Coach Uncle Milt. In the episode, if my memory saves me, I think we 35, right? 35 and strong and going. We got some good news. We got some good news that we got youth sports back in the city. The mayor made the announcement a couple of days ago that we're allowed to go back in the parks. They're going to open up the permits. And now we got also public school sports back, which is good, man. New York City is great, man. We got that back. And, they're going to start off with strength and conditioning in April, and then they're gonna start with the competition with the games in May, and they're gonna play through the summer. So that's beautiful, man. Now we can rock and roll. This show can do a lot of other things that we was kind of handcuffed that we couldn't do because there was no action. It's not like COVID is over, but we starting to open up, and it's very good, man, that we starting to get to see the light at the end of the tunnel with this. And, like I said, it's not over, but it's good to see the light. It's good to get back so we can get back in the parks, get back on the court, get back on the field, get back on the tracks, on the baseball diamond, and all these other things, man. We need it. Kids need the activity, and we need it here at the Podcast Show to do, some other things with youth sports. And so that's beautiful, man. I'm glad to hear that. And we're just going to, on a later date, coming up soon, we're going to have people to come on and talk about it in more detail. And another thing that we have also is we just passed the stimulus bill. So it's going to Biden's office and for his signature in a couple of days. I think they said Friday. So we got people that need some money. It's coming. We got that $1,400 coming, and some needed money for people who's not unemployed, and also people who's back on their rent and things, and they can see that at the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, and kind of get back on their feet. So that's good that we can see the end. It's not the end yet, but it's good to see it. And I want people to think optimistic. Like, let's think positive that we came through a whole year through the fire. We came through the fire, and we hear it. We came out. Some people came out and, they didn't get touched by it. Some of us got exposed to it, but our bodies got immune and fought it off. Like me, I was exposed to it, and my body fought it off. So so I'm glad that happened. Some people body didn't, like, their immune system wasn't that strong enough, and and their body couldn't fight it off, and they're no longer here with us. But some people that just didn't get it at all. So, hey, I'm kind of glad that we at the end of this, and we can see better days coming and things like that. So I'm very glad. What's up, Joe?
I'm good.
All right, who we got? We got Ralph there.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ralph?
What's up?
What's going on, man? Yeah, we are on the bottom of our hour. We got a guy coming in from the Northeast region of football, that's upstate, and he's going to tell us about his league and what's going on in his spring ball, that he's going to talk about. Now, I want to put this out there for these guys that control these leagues. They control these leagues that want to do spring ball or fall ball. We like to cover your show with our new championship row. We want to cover, highlights and scores and things of that nature, and of your leagues. But we need the information. So if there's any problem that I tell people, sometimes in business we got to be businessmen, and if there's any problem of us doing it so we won't step on nobody's toes, we got to hear from you. But if we calling you and we are seeking out information and you're not getting back in touch with us, that tells us you don't want to do business with us, and I don't know why, but it is what it is. But it's not going to stop us. We're going to move on. We're just going to do business with people who want to do business with us, and we like to incorporate everybody so we can be fair. So this is why we started this platform, so we can stay independent, so we can cover everybody independently. We don't have to be a part of anybody. So everybody comes and they get the same coverage all across the board. But we just want to know if this is something that you like us to do or you don't like us to do it. I mean, let's be businessman about it, So, we make the calls. I'm not calling all over and you don't pick up. You see the message, and I'm not calling every day. I'm just telling me that you don't want to do business, and I'm going to remember that. That plain and simple. You got something to say about that, Ralph?
Now I agree with you. Just let us know.
Just let us know, and we
there's no reason to assume. We don't want to assume nothing.
Yeah. Well, we do this. It's for the kids. It's for the program, and I think what we do helps your program. It helps your program, and we're not asking for $1 from it. We want to highlight different events and things what kids do, and kids is a part of organizations, and organizations are part of leagues. So everything comes hand in hand. But I don't want to get into politics that I'm being, you reaching out and nobody's answering. There's some people who do. I ain't gonna get it right. There's some people who do, but there's some people who don't. So that's what's said. But this is what I'm just making it clear what we do. We're just following what you do, your games and your scores and the activities that happen in the game, and we're gonna put it on our platform to put it out there in the world. It only helps you. It only helps your business. So here you call us up. Like this 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. Now we got a topic that a couple of coaches brought this to me. It was an article that was written by Jason Whitlock somewhere back in December. And the article was, I don't want to get into the black college coach, but in a part in the article interests me so much that I had to highlight it because it concerns with youth sports on a youth sports level, as far as a youth sports kid and his home makeup, and what happens in his home, if it's a 2-family household or if it's a two-parent household or if it's a 1-parent household. I said 2-family. In his family makeup, if it's a 1 single parent or it's 2 parents, the mom and the dad or just a mom, and the makeup that Mr. Whitlock said is the black matriarch play a significant role in the plight of black college football coaches. So, I'm not going to get into it's an article he wrote. You can YouTube it, and that's the name of it. The black matriarch player significant role in the plight of black college football coaches, and it goes on to talk about the difference between the black coach and the white coach and the benefits and the setbacks. And I don't want to get into that because that's over my pay grade, but I like to get into a story I like to get into this story, and I asked Joe, "What's up, Joe? You read this thing for me?"
Read it. Aloud?
I just asked.
Milk's full of surprises.
I just asked Joe. Joe, I need you to read this. And I don't know if he was listening to me. I said, Joe, you need to read this thing. You want to give it a shot? It's like you look at it a little bit. Let's look at it a little bit. See if you can do it. All in yellow, and it's a very interesting story. You know, you want me to read it? It's gonna sound like I'm a kindergarten. I'm not a good out loud reader. You know what I'm saying? You know, you think you get it out? You think you get it out? Now I don't know if he was listening to me. I said, Joe, I need you to read this article.
I heard you, but I didn't know.
I don't think Joe was listening to me.
And I heard you say it, but I didn't know.
Joe's like, I didn't know it was like 2 paragraphs. I just highlight it in the article that had something pertaining to youth sports and the youth sports kid and the family makeup. And I wanted to let Joe read it, and we're going to talk about it. And then we could call up. You could call up listen, you call up 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. And give your comment about it. And we could talk about it real briefly. We waiting for Coach O to come on from Northeast, and we're going to talk about his program and his spring ball.
All right.
I'm going to give it a shot. Joe going to give it a shot.
You got surprises, man. All right, so just the highlight.
The highlight ones, okay.
It says it's easier for black coaches to lead teams filled with kids from nuclear families, black kids from broken homes, and or with broken father relationships struggle to submit to leadership of black head coaches. They respond better when the ultimate authority is white or female.
Wow.
I know that sounds crazy to some of you. I know that as a member of the media, I'm supposed to just write that white racism is the explanation for every black problem. But the reality is that insecurity and self-hatred are bigger problems for black male athletes. You can see it in their attraction to the Black Lives Matter movement. Black Lives Matter is a cry for white love and a white solution to a black problem. Black Lives Matter is a plea for a white daddy to save black culture.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Hold on.
That's deep.
Wow. Now, I read it, so I was like, I read it. It's another paper there.
There's more.
Okay, there's more.
For the last 60 years, black culture had been ruled by matriarchy and a lack of respect and belief in black men. Kids raised by single mothers and single grandmothers have little regard for black male authority figures. Their irresponsible fathers and bitter mothers give birth to a cynicism that is left untreated, quietly hunts the child throughout adulthood. The culture of female dominance, leadership, and worship is now the default culture of black millennials. With 75% of black kids born into single-parent home, baby mama culture, it has been imposed upon black kids from 2-parent homes. In order to fit in order to meet black Twitter standard of blackness, Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air must conform to the culture. In this era, the Atlanta politician Stacey Abrams would have a better chance of duplicating the Georgetown basketball team dynasty than Big John Thompson.
Wow.
In an effort to connect with modern black athletes and win the approval of black culture, all coaches are being forced to conceal their authentic beliefs. They all have to bow to the shrine of Black Lives Matter and express adoration for George Floyd, Jacob Blake, Eric Garner, Breonna Taylor, Michael Brown, etc. Everyone knows it's all bullshit.
Okay.
Do you think Nick Saban believes Michael Brown who wrestled for control of a police officer's gun was the victim of racism or the victim of bad decision making? Do you think Sabine believed criminal suspects have the right to resist arrest? It's all charade. All of this.
No, we can stop. We can stop.
A lot.
We can stop. Let's get into some politics.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get into some politics, but I like that. I like this part here, which we're gonna talk about, like the matriarch, the black matriarch. You know, that's the woman leadership in the home, and that like I want to talk about, because we talked about that a little bit as far as coaching is concerned. You know, that we had some coaches come on and then we had another coach to say that they want to be in a kid's life, other than more than coaching, and I understand it. But when I read this here, and thanks Joe did a good job, yo. Thanks Joe, and I read this thing and I'm like, it like, wow, it's like you're saying Mr. Whitlock is stating that black coaches or maybe black leadership, like it could be someone of a mentor, is being less listened to than a woman and a white man. I mean, that's crazy. And we're not getting into any racism here, because I don't promote that type of talk on the show. But we got to get real. It is a breakdown of our family, and it's a missing of male leadership in the family. In some families that have of matriarchs, women, they don't want that. They don't want to give up their spot. They don't want to give up their spot. They want you to manage. If any kind of male figure come in the home, they want you to manage what they can't manage, but they still want somewhat of leadership. And this story is stemming from the family setting all the way to coaching in college and the NFL. And this is how they think, like, these kids is not going to listen to you, black coach. These kids ain't going to listen to you, black coach, but they can listen to a white coach. And I'm like, wow, that's something. What do you think, Ralph?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with that one. Mm-hmm. Just because I think the article itself, it has to be based on a specific area. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because in certain areas, it wouldn't be that way. Like, there was no way a white coach would get more, would not reach out, basically be able to impact the kid more than a black coach in certain areas. I don't think. But
I want you to have an open mind to this, because sometimes when I talk to dads, right, they kind of like add their self in there, because they're in the house and they being the male figure in their house to their kids, and sometimes they add it like, I need you to be open minded, because most of the houses by percentage is single.
But even with that, just being in sports as yourself, being out there on the football field with these coaches and everything, you see the difference from the single family kids. Mm-hmm. The single family home kids and the ones that have both their parents. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, sometimes those kids go harder than the ones that have both parents in the house.
It's a state, like I told a person, we got Coach O's in the house. How you doing, Coach O?
How you doing?
All right. We just had, like, I don't know if you're listening, but we just had like a little discussion about the matriarch of Jason Whitlock wrote a nice article, and we're going to talk more about it later on, in the show, and later on another date, about the black matriarch player, significant role in the plight of black college football coaches. Pretty much, I'm going to give you the quick thing in it that because you a coach and you also run a program, a league, a program. So what Mr. Whitlock is saying, is like he's saying that the black player is more to listen to a woman and a white coach than a black coach. So we can't hire black coaches on the college level and the NFL level. Now I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but just to get your quick view, your quick comment on something like that. And it's an article that you can get online to read the whole article, but we just read a little piece off of it about
it's a very touchy subject. I coach on the inner city, so we had a good relationship with the kids here. Every color. We coaching kids from black, Latinos, Asian, whites. So it's pretty much. I'm not ready to, jump on it, but I do see that we don't have that many black coaches on the NFL. I see that we don't have that many black coaches on the college level. Yeah. So it could be true, and it also could be a lie. It could be fiction because once we hire the coaches and then let them talk to these kids, I think they'll be more open since they're coming from the same place.
I don't know if they're using that excuse to not hire or to fire coaches. They pretty much
they could be. Yeah, they could be using that as an excuse to not hire.
Yeah, pretty much. Mr. Whitlock is saying that, which is crazy to me, but that I can understand this premise because kids from one family homes are different than kids from two family homes. You know what I'm saying? Yep. From have the father and the mother in the house and kids, because you coach inner city kids too. So, there is a difference. But his premise of the story is he's saying that, they're using this to not hire or to fire. You can't control the black athlete, which the black athlete dominates college football. And the pros. It's like I said, wow.
Yeah, but they don't only dominate on the high level; they dominate all the way from the youth level. You can see.
Yeah, but to say that African American male can't control African American male kid, and wow,
I don't agree with that.
He's not gonna listen. He's gonna do his own thing.
That's based on the area. That's not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I think it coming from the same situations, it should be easier for a kid to talk to a coach. That they're coming from the same neighborhoods.
Exactly.
It should be way easier for him to interact with these kids, compared with somebody that was given a gold platter the whole life, you know.
They pretty much saying at the college level, at the pro level, these athletes is different. They're not listening to, black males, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
does that have any legs?
Hey, but
does that have?
Who they ask these questions to?
No, right? Jason Witt. He's a famous sports guy. He had shows on ESPN, and he's a writer. Jason Whitlock. Whitlock. He's a prominent sports guy, and he wrote a big article. And we're gonna go into details. Joe read a little bit of it. It's just that I don't like to get into the politics of who professional, because we're not a professional or college or even, we're not that type of show. We're a youth sports show. But in the article, it was saying something about youth kids' families, and we deal with youth kids' families. We all of us as coaches seeing kids come from broken homes, and we try to do the best we can, and come with different behavior problems that we try to help, but sometimes he's a product of his environment, and sometimes our programs help, and in some cases we don't help all. We can't help all, but we help most of them and things. So that's it.
Yeah.
But we get ready to go to a commercial break, and I'm gonna bring you in, Coach O, and introduce you the right way. So we coming up in a break in a few minutes and things, and we got Ralph Draper Championship Row, and like I said before, I don't know if you heard it about we're inviting all leagues, to spring ball or fall ball. We're inviting all leagues to utilize our platform, and we want to report their games and things are happening, highlights, scores, and stats and things, and get to know the teams and the kids that play in the games and highlight it on our platform. And we reached out to all the leagues in New York City and also New York State, and Coach O is one of them. He returned the call. He answered the email, and we thank you for that. And we got him on our show to tell us about his league and also tell us about spring ball. So after the commercial break, we'll be back about 8:30 something, and we're gonna introduce Coach O. Okay. Yeah. So how far are you upstate, Coach?
We're Massachusetts, Coach.
Let's talk about playing football.
Coming soon, New York's first youth sports football state championship, calling all surrounding cities: New York City, Long Island, Peekskill, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. The best youth football teams in New York, ages 8 to 13, competing for a state title. For more information, email nystatechampionship@gmail.com. This championship is organized by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization, Championship Row Podcast, and NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show Incorporated.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is Help Required. Each of us helps one of us. With this continuously cycle of support, we'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
We're back, and then we glad to have a Zoom guest all the way from upstate. He's a Little East in Massachusetts. We got Coach O, and he's from the Northeast region, UYFL, and he's starting a league. And we're gonna introduce Coach O. It's Orlando. What is the last name?
Concepcion.
I couldn't say that because you have to have that. You have to have that.
Gonna get that one out.
Nah, you have to have that. You have to have that.
I give it to you. I give it to you in the way I don't like it. Conception.
No, because you gotta have that Latin tongue.
Yeah,
I don't have that. I don't have that, man. You using that tongue, especially on. Yeah, we got Coach O here, and introducing Coach O. And tell us about yourself and how long you've been doing it, and what are you doing now with your Northeast region?
Yeah, we actually, I've been coaching since 2008. As a regular Pop Warner coach. Did it for all the way to last year. I coached Pop Warner, and we decided to stop that politics part, and I moved on, and we created a league that we all outlaws here. We just tired of the politics. We just tired of not being about the kids, So we walked away, and now we actually doing something special for the kids. Even like about an hour ago, I got a confirmation. We got 50 players get sponsorship to play in one of the teams. This is what that's the part that we talking about, being about the kids. People see it, and we keep it. We keep it about that. And like I said, we've been blessed. Today alone, we got 50 for one city out of Massachusetts, and we got another 10 for another city in Lynn. So we're gonna keep building. We got teams in Staten Island. We got for our spring showtime. We got the Queens Avengers also. We trying to help out over there. We also have the Wolfpacks out of Rochester.
Okay.
So, and then also Brooklyn Chief. They're coming in.
Okay.
So we're looking pretty good. We're making a bridge from New York all the way to New Hampshire. Okay.
So, and you got some upstate teams. How many upstate teams you got? Upstate New York team.
Upstate, there's just 2 Rochester teams, then the rest of one in Queens, the other one in Brooklyn.
All right. And this is for the spring ball. You gonna play? Gonna play 4-ball too?
We're gonna play 4-ball, but I'm not sure. I'm not gonna talk about who's committed to the fall yet. Okay. Because some people do play some other places, and we haven't even got to that conversation yet.
Okay.
One thing at a time. We still in spring.
But you are planning to play 4-ball.
Oh, we are playing 4-ball.
Okay. All right. You planning?
But just to get it clear, the teams that are playing for me on the spring doesn't mean they're playing for me.
I know. This is a spring. This is a spring program, and the way it goes here is that some of these teams in the fall, they belong to a different league. So the league got a fall program, and they don't have a spring program, and some of these leagues just want to get work. They just want to get work, so they will join in your program to play a league, play spring ball where you at, and then that's pretty much how they get work. To keep the kids.
If you look at it, this kid's haven't been able to do anything for over a year.
Well, yeah, but I like what you said. We got tired of the politics. It's politics and youth ball is and youth sports. Period. There's a lot of politics and it's not about the kids playing. The kids want to play. Period. The kids want to play.
Kids want to play. Well, kids don't care what they play.
Yeah, and
they just want to play. But
and some of these guys,
adults dictate it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they gotta look in the mirror and say, "Is this about the kids or is this about me?"
Yeah.
This is about and even with with this platform, like I said, and I keep saying it, like I tell everybody that I deal with that's on this platform that we're neutral, and sometimes being neutral, you're still going to be see like something like, you know, oh, he's neutral, he's that type of guy, he don't want to work with nobody, and there's no, so sometimes it be neutral to stay out the politics. To stay out the politics, you know. So,
so that's one thing that trust me, I don't do. We don't do politics. We don't even have what is called elections to select anybody for nothing.
Yeah.
Over here, you get a 2-year plan. If you want to do it, you know. If you don't want to do it, get out. If you don't do it right, I will ask you to leave. You know, we'll get somebody else.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna run that politics league. And also not a dictator either. We have a whole team. Everybody has something to say, and we're gonna put it on the table, and we get it done the right way. You know,
Ralph, he's preaching the gospel here. No dictatorships. People are in position for so many years doing the same thing and getting the same results. It's no dictatorship. You got a 2-year plan, right?
2-year plan.
Sometimes fresh new ideas and new energy is better sometimes, you know, and it's needed. So when do your game starts? The spring ball starts.
We are at Jamboree. We planning for April 3rd right now.
April 3rd.
April 3rd. And now we have out of the 14 teams we got in the league, 12 of them already in the field. You know, practicing. So we're waiting for the other 2 that's supposed to get on the field between this week and the following week. They're waiting for the CD, all the COVID-19 stuff for the CDs. So they submitted all the paperwork. They should be on the field within the next 10 days. And if that happens like that, our first game will be April 3rd.
Okay, so how you gonna work it? Like, you gonna they're gonna come up there, or you're gonna come down here to the city?
Everybody got 3 home games and 3 away games.
Oh, okay. So total games you try to get every
6 games. 6 games. Regular season.
6 games.
With 3 rounds of playoff.
You got a number of divisions?
We got 6 divisions.
Yeah, you got all 6 from 8 to 13, or?
No, we got from 5 to 14.
Oh, 5 to 14? So it's all unlimited, right?
All limited.
Oh, so that's more than 6. It's more than 6. 5.
Well, because 5, 6, and 7
depends
on. Yeah, it depends. You know, with the age. If you 7 before July, if you 7 after July 31st, you can still play 5 and 6.
Oh, okay.
On a first-year player. If it's a second-year player, he has to play AAU.
Okay, so you stick in the 5, 6, and 7s together, actually.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Rookie tackle.
Okay. And then so 8U, 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U, 13 and 14.
And 14.
So that's about 7. About 7. Yes. Okay, all right. So you got about 14 teams and
14
7
divisions.
14 organizations and 7 divisions. That's not bad. And 6 games. That's great. And then so, you know, we, just like when I taught you off the air, like, you know, what we do here. And let me introduce you, Ralph Draper. Ralph, say hello to Coach O. And he's
Coach O?
Yeah, he's the host of Championship Row podcast, and Championship Row does highlights, scores, and player ranking, team rankings, and stats and things. So he's going to be following your league and talking about your games in your league and things like that. And all we ask is to get us the information so we can mention it on his podcast. We haven't got a date yet, but it's going to be in the beginning of the week after Sunday. You know, so we can talk about what you're doing as far as as far as your league is concerned. You know,
we good, man. Like I said, we bring in the smoke. We're gonna have the top players around.
Okay,
that's guaranteed. I mean, everybody from in this area, everybody in Connecticut, everybody in New York, the teams in New Hampshire, Everybody's working hard. This is the kids have been around. They've been playing for a long time. So.
Well, since we're in New York, I'm gonna have to say one of the New York teams are gonna win it all. Just to put that out there.
Listen, I'm Freelander. This is what I rock right here. UYFL. So I'll be happy to give anybody those rings. We have rings for the kids at the Super Bowl. And I'll be happy to give the trophy to the winners, man. So,
all right. So,
so
the Super Bowl is gonna be upstate.
I think the Super Bowl is gonna be in Boston.
In Boston, okay.
Yes, and a big venue. Something really nice.
Yeah, we're gonna come up. We're gonna come up at the show. We're going to come up and,
set up a table for y'all. Set up your table.
I appreciate it. We'll come up and we talk about it, talk to some coaches and things. And, we know you, and I know you're going to take care of us and things.
Of course,
and then, like I said, it's kind of like, you want to get more teams and stuff because we could have, showed it on the air and things. But when you do your fall thing, give us your flyer. And we'll put it out there and have you come back and talk about it and try to grow that.
That fall flyer should be coming on real soon, man.
Okay. Because
we got to pull that off, man. He's Spanish too, man. They're gonna show us a real good time up there, man.
Yeah.
I got to that Puerto Rican and Capurias and stuff.
I was going. I get ready to ask him who he said it. So.
No, hey, once they say Spanish, I gotta let them know what I am.
Because I'm used to two Spanish. Well, not two, 3 actually. My Spanish friend has risen to Central America. So I know some Guatemalans. Now I know some Guatemalans right now, but. Mostly when I was coming up, it was Puerto Rican and Dominican.
I'm on the Puerto Rican side.
Okay, all right.
He on the Puerto Rican side, and I'm on the Dominican side.
Yeah, see, so that's my circle.
We're gonna have to be up there for a week or something, Milk, man. We ain't never gonna be able to leave.
As long as you got some food, that's good.
It's definitely gonna be that.
I'll be there.
You ain't going to no round Spanish people when they gonna have food.
I'll be there, and we come in.
Another thing I'm doing, since I love food so much, right? I'm giving a trophy at the end of the season to the best concession.
Wow.
A lot of these people concessions got to step it up, man. Don't too much.
It's something I want to do. Listen, that's something I wanted to do because I'm a connoisseur of concessions, especially down here. Like some teams in Big Apple, some teams in the old Empire. They got some nice concessions, man. The BU got a nice concession and the Chiefs got nice concessions, man. Many teams.
I want to see the chicken kebabs in there.
Well, man,
I'm tired of that cheeseburger and hot dogs.
Yeah, that's old, man. They got to switch it up now, man.
The Chiefs got a nice concession, man. They give you fish and chips, shrimps and stuff. They give you some stuff, and then there's some guys out Brooklyn. That is the best concession. They're not part of a team, but they're not part of a league or anything, league or organization. What they do is that some of these organizations hire them out on their big games, and they come like Big Apple will hire them out, and they'll do their sessions at the game of the week or them dudes is dynamite, man. I go there just to eat. I go there just to eat.
In Florida. Yeah. At the UYFL Nationals, they were pretty decent too, man.
Yeah, wow. I want food. No hot dogs. When you start
getting down south, man, the concessions is on a different level.
Yeah, I want food.
But out of the I-League, whoever has the best concession, they're gonna get that big trophy for them.
Man, I like that, man. I like to get.
We're gonna have to pop up to some of these games.
Yeah, I like to get that trophy. I like to be one of the judges. I like to be one of the judges, man. I'm here, man. I'm the official official judge of concession, and I want a little bit of everything. I want a little bit of everything. Okay, don't miss nothing out. I don't want to discriminate. Don't leave nothing out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yes, Miss Martha, I want your casserole. Make sure it's there, everything, And don't catch feelings when I'm over there spitting it out, okay? It is what it is.
Man, we ready over here.
I'm ready and everything. So, you got something to plug right now, Coach O? Anything you want to say to our listeners?
Guys, we're here. No matter where you play, all you should look is the organization running it should be about the kids. As soon as you see it's not about the kids, take your kids out of there.
Wow. That's saying something. That's from Pastor Coach O. Pastor Coach O. Yeah. All right, thanks, Coach, man.
All right, thank you.
Like I said, I'll take our phone lines.
Yep.
Our door. When you come down to New York, you gotta come and grace our studio here.
Oh, hell yeah!
It's always open. It's for you to utilize what you do for the kids, and we like to highlight people like you that does things for the kids, and we want to make it known that this is what we do at this platform and things like that to highlight people like yourself, leagues, organizations, players, referees, whatever that have taken part in youth sports in the city of New York and the state of New York. So
and we're gonna put it out for the whole Northeast.
Yeah, and I want you to look in the camera and say who's the best youth sports show in the city and state of New York.
Come on, do we really have to say we on it right now, man? There's nothing else, man.
Yeah, can you say it? So can you say to let the people know that they don't understand? The NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show.
He muted.
You muted? Who muted? We muted him? Or the time running out?
Nah, I don't know how he got muted.
He muted by accident.
You muted by accident? I think he's muted. Oh, he don't know. I think he muted it.
Coach O, you muted. If you hear us, there you go.
You muted. You muted it. You hear it, Coach? What you say?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. What you say?
No, I was saying we number one, man. You
know
what it is.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
All right. Yeah, we're about to go to the break. And NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show, and we will be back after we pay some bills.
Let's talk about playing football.
Coming soon, New York's first youth sports football state championship, calling all surrounding cities: New York City, Long Island, Peekskill, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. The best youth football teams in New York, ages 8 to 13, competing for a state title. For more information, email nystatechampionship@gmail.com. This championship is organized by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization, Championship Row Podcast, and NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show Incorporated.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is Help Required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsoneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
We're back, NYC Youth Sports. That was good, that was a good interview with Coach O, man, I just wish he knew our name. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, it happens, man. It happens. Ralph, we're going to be busy, man. We're going to be busy. We got youth sports back. And,
I'm
you know what I'm saying?
I'm looking forward to it now, especially with that whole concession stand thing. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it more.
Yeah, we got youth sports back, so we got something to see, something to talk about, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. Well, I'm glad because, our numbers was in the goddamn toilet, but it's okay. It's okay. We committed. We here for the long haul, and just like with anything, you don't have success every day. It's like, it's an up and down, setbacks, and, failure is part of it, and it makes you better. It makes you stronger coming out and everything. But this Jason Whitlock talk, we're going to have this conversation at a later date. And we just put out the tidbits of it. And we're gonna do a promo, and we're gonna talk about the single family, the single parent and the 2-parent homes, and how it affects youth sports, and how it affects down here in the beginning, and see that we can have a dialogue, and we can kind of like tweak some of these talks about when they get to the collegiate level, and even at the professional level, that they're using this as an excuse to not hire coaches. And I'm like, I don't want it to be, I don't want the show to be political, that we are talking about some type of difference in race. But if you're qualified, you should get the job. If you work hard, you should get the job. You know what I'm saying?
That's the hardest thing when with stuff like that. There's no way to get away from politics with stuff like that.
Yeah, we should get the job.
Because that's not the way the world works, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you should get the job if you qualified, But to say, in sports, I don't know, but I see that in the neighborhood because I live in a I wouldn't say it's the worst neighborhood, but it's it's there, and some of these kids do not respect male authority. I'm talking about the kids in the neighborhood that's out there. They would like they smoke up. They don't care. They would be out there talking, selling their drugs in front of people. They'd be out there gambling, and they don't care. Some of them pull their guns out. They don't care if it's elderly people on the bench. It's no respect for adult figures in the neighborhood, and that's some kids. That's some kids. They don't even have to be in sport. They just an urban
but
kid.
Those are the worst ones, the ones that aren't in sport.
Yeah.
Because kids that in sports, they may not respect a regular guy out there on the street if they're selling and doing all this stuff. But if they see their coach walk by, they're surely gonna hide that gun or act like they ain't doing nothing.
But what I can say is that it's a thin line from the neighborhood kid and the sports athlete. It's a thin line. Sometimes the athlete brings the neighborhood kid with him. You know, they glorify the rap culture so much that even the rap culture bring the street guys with them. You know, rap culture is like, you know, it's a, you know, I got my man, he don't do nothing, he have no purpose, but to do what he does naturally to survive. And you bring him out his environment and you put him into like an organized environment and he messes up. And let's talk about that. I mean, that is true. So if Jason Whitlock was talking about the sports athlete, I can understand the comparison that the sports athlete at a high school, college, and even pro area, they gravitate to neighborhood culture. Neighborhood culture. And these guys could be millionaires. You know, but they do, you know, neighborhood stuff. You know, they go to these clubs. You know, you go to the strip club. They're always in trouble. You know, and they came out with these strict NFL rules, these strict NCAA rules to protect their product. Now, I'm a businessman. I understand. So if somebody that hiring say, man, you know, we try that, but we seen that the urban kid, the urban black kid or Latino kid seem to listen to a white coach other than a black coach. They seem to listen to a woman and I think that is freaking asinine. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, wow. That has to be based on area, especially how things go nowadays. That's based on areas.
No, so you're saying like in the suburbs is different than in the hood?
Definitely, because it's based on what the kids are used to and what the kids are seeing on a regular basis.
So is it safe to say in the suburbs there's more 2-family homes than one?
Well, I don't know the statistics. I wouldn't even touch that stuff. I wouldn't because me, I grew up in the suburbs, like so. Yeah. It's hard for me to speculate what.
I mean, your father was inside. Your father was.
No. My mother was a single mother.
All right, so we only could talk about our situation.
Yeah, my mother was a single mother. Okay, 3 kids.
And just like my mother was a single mother. But did you know your father? You didn't know him because I knew my father. You know, I knew who he was, where he lived. You know, it was a different deal with that. You know, my father, you know, he decided to stay away for any kind of reason. That's what he decided to do. He could have been in our lives every day and more, but he decided to, you know. Yeah. He decided.
See, my family's from Dominican Republic, so that's where my father's at. So I never really traveled over there like that much. So
yeah. So I mean, all your brothers and sisters born here, right?
Yeah, my brothers and my sister were born here.
Okay. So, I mean, your father ever lived here, or he just lived here?
In Dominican Republic.
Oh, so your mother came with everyone, or just? I mean, no. What I'm saying is, your father lives in Dominican Republic. He went back. He was in the States at once, right?
Never.
Oh, he was never in the States?
My mother, like still to this day, my mother goes to Dominican Republic every year. Like,
okay. And then she comes back with one. Yeah. Okay, I get it. So, no, I don't think it's different, Ralph. I mean, you know, your father decided to stay here, but you could come over. You know, he just decided to stay here. Stay. I think it's, Spanish family structure is different. is different. It's the family structure is put.
I think even with that, I just think it's really based on, because we can say Spanish, but even the Spanish nationalities all of them do things different.
Yeah, but I'm saying their family structure is like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like all of them, like
they don't have like some, too much of them. Even if the father is not physically, but the mother makes sure that that's your father over there, and and you show respect. You know what I'm saying? It's different, because sometimes like they talk about the bitter black women, and I hope my mom ain't listening, but I understand. I know, no, serious. That's real though. That's real. That's real, man. That's real. Single black women that takes the kids can be a little bitter and express their bitterness to their kids. And sometimes it overlooks that they don't respect the male figure.
Yeah.
I get the story. So I'm talking about single, they call them matriarchs of the family. It's women, women at leadership positions in the family. I have a few of them, and when there's absence of male figure, some of them are bitter because they're not there, or they went on with someone else, and the decision that was made and everything, That's it. I don't know. We got listeners tonight, but call in. Tell us what you think. 347-776-7070. That's 347-776-7070. Our numbers is in the toilet, man. Oh my God. But we still going, man. We still going. We working on it. And it will be what you call a shot in the whole thing. It doesn't discourage us and everything, but those 26, we got 26 people in the room. Wow. Well, any one of those 5 listeners we have in the room tonight, give us a call, man. Give us a call, man. 347-776-7070. And tell me what you like to talk about, on the show. But it's good, man. It can, with everything in life, you have a setback, and you have trials. Nothing success won't go through this. This is like the ingredients in building it and making a cake, and the eggs and the milk and the sugar, you know what I'm saying, and the yeast. All these ingredients to make a perfect project. And sometimes you stick that in the oven and it don't rise. But that doesn't stop you from making a cake. Not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me. We got youth sports back. We're going to be doing a lot of other things, other topics, and bringing other dynamic people and things like that. And we will be back. And sometimes football may be running its course for the year. Sometimes football runs its course. It's more organized. It's more organized, and I try to. This is the first time that we're doing it on this platform, like far as covering some of the youth topics, and some people is not used to being exposed to a point, and we like to talk about. The good, the bad, the ugly, because that's the only way that it can be authentic, and it's the only way that it can be it has independence. We don't want to just talk about all the good. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about everything else too, so we can get a variety of listeners. But just like I said, we be all right. We got sometime in April, we're gonna have Championship Row podcast coming with Ralph Draper. And we working on other shows. We working on across the board on the other side that take away from youth sports. We also working on entertainment shows like the The Business of Marriage, To Death Do Us Part. We start filming on that this weekend, and we're going to have that on a different channel. And things that we just doing. There's other things we doing to stay busy. But the sports show is always going to be here. We're not going to, we are bunkering it down for the long haul. And this is something that's going to be here. I know it's going to work. You know, I build it, we build it, and it's going to work, and it's always going to be here. So we you know, I'm not discouraged at all. Not discouraged at all. So, we used to getting like 200 views, and now we got a setback, but it's cool. So that's it, man. Ralph,
yo,
yeah. So we got this sports tournament coming, and we want to talk about this, that we are looking for, because me and Ralph is part of this independent youth sports political organization called New York for New York, and that's just something that is not our thing, but I like the what the young brother's doing. I want to mention his name yet, but we're looking for young, not so much young, but open-minded people who wants to build and organize certain things, far as on the political end, far as youth sports is concerned, and be about the game and also about the kids, not about the politics. So it's coming soon. It's called New York for New York. And it's all about organizing different events across the spectrum of youth sports in the state, the city and state, to bring a lot of events for the youth. You know, not only the state championship of youth football they organize is we're going to be doing track meets. We're going to be doing basketball tournaments, and it's totally for the youth. You know, it's going to be totally for the youth. So it's called New York for New York Youth Sports Organization. Is a political organization, a grassroots organization in the neighborhood to organize the politics and to organize events and tournaments and things of that nature. So we looking for people. I know the brother looking for people to come and join and sit back and talk about the organizing and the things that needs to be done as far as youth sports is concerned in New York City and also New York State. So that's coming. New York for New York Youth Sports Organization is a political. It's not a league. It's not a organization. It has no moving physical parts with far as kids is concerned. So it's an organization that wants to organize the political and tournaments and meets and things like that of youth sports. You know, they help you to organize certain things, to get funded, the legal side of it, as far as grant writing and proposals and things like that. So this is going to be open for those who join it, and an organization that joins it and things like that. This, representatives from different organizations and leagues and things like that joins it, and these are the things that what it is. It's not, like I repeat again, because people, you got to say it a couple of times, is youth sports political organization that organize things that happens in youth sports. You know, so it's New York for New York, and this is what we bought. Sometimes you hear we say New York for New York. It's not like discluding anything out of state, any event out of state, any tournament out of state, any nationals or regionals. We have nothing to do with that, and we're not downing it. We're not what you call it, Ralph? Like we're not encouraging people to not go. It's just none of our business. We just about New York for New York, and that's it. You know. So somebody said, you know, nah, no, you do what you want to do. You know, we just New York for New York.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much New York for New York. You know, we're not putting anybody down for you do what you want to do. You know, then we have people who don't want to go, and we support them. And those who do want to go, we still support them. It doesn't matter to us. So we get ready to have a short night. We get ready to get out of here about 9:30. And next week, we working on some topics. I like to extend this Jason Whitlock story. It's very interesting. I encourage everybody to YouTube it. YouTube this story and read it. You know, it says the black matriarch player significantly role in the flight of black college football coaches. So, like I said, it's about, you know, I don't, you know, you can read the whole thing, and it tells you about, you know, why black coaches is not getting a job, why they losing a job, and pretty much Jason is painting a picture because, you know, youth, black youth kids that play sports tends to listen to a woman and a white man and a white coach, and I'm like, wow, you know, I'm just like, that's totally ridiculous. You know, that's totally ridiculous, and I'm hoping that's not true. But I understand because there's neighborhood kids that don't listen to adults at all, especially, you know, adult black males. You know, and that is true. And, you know, is that considered to a sports kid? I don't know. I'm going to do some more researches on it. I'm going to do a little more research on it, and we're going to bring it back next week entirely, and hopefully I can try to, this is a big hope, if I could get Jason on some type of Zoom. What do you think? I'm going to try. Nice. If I can get Jason on, so I can try, man, and say, yo, on the story, you know, can you, you know, put us in your mindset or get some kind of comment from him as far as putting in his mindset on the architect of this story. It was the main thing, you know. So we coming up to the break, and we're going to get out of here, have a short night, you know, and, you know, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. We're glad we got youth sports back. Just like I said, you know, they're going to go into some straight and conditioning in April. And then they're going to go playing in May, and they're going through the summer. They're going to play through the summer. So we, you know, the parks is going to be open. The permits is going to be out there. It's going to be some restrictions. There's going to be some restrictions, and just like, you know, just obey the restrictions. We are really at the end of this. You know, it's not totally over, but we see the light in the tunnel, and that's always good. That's always good to see the light in the tunnel. You know, you got something to say, Ralph?
No, I agree with you. You know, I know a lot of people are happy, man. It's COVID is starting to fade away little by little.
Yeah,
and get a lot of people probably will never be back to normal again, but at least it's like you said, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So I'm happy, so I can talk about something else other than football. you know, it's better.
We're gonna be talking about that stuff. We're gonna try it at them concession stands.
Yeah, man. I like to talk about things, you know, other things, and then that people can say things, and you know, they don't have to like. You know, I'm getting calls and no, nothing happening. Yeah, let's talk about nothing. There's nothing to talk about, Milton. Nothing happened. I'm like, yeah. So, it'll be, coming back soon. And I'm glad to see that we're there. We see it. We see it and we understand it and that nature and everything. So, it's what it is. And I want to talk briefly, real quick too, before we go to the break. Support to the show. We got 5 ways to support the show. It's going to be in the video, but this is the most important thing. We run a $10 ad. It's a $10 ad per show that we run on the bottom of the screen. If you see next to our telephone number, you see an ad spot that is changing as you go. You can put your business ad there, your shout outs, it's support to the show. It's $10 a show. It runs in rotation through the whole part of the show when we're on the air. You can put your business ad. You can put a shout out. It supports the show, and we need support. It's $10 a show, $30 a month, $90 for 3 months. Whatever you want to put there is right there next to the telephone number. You see various ads that we had there, and they are in rotation. And this is something that you can support the show. You can Cash App it. It's going to come up in the 5 ways to help our show. To keep the lights on. We have to do this because we are a non-profit, and we have to seek funds in all different ways. So we hope people out there understand that things cost, overhead costs, and if you support us, what you're doing, if we support us, what we're doing, please hit us up, hit that red button, leave your comments, and like and dislike, and hit us up with the $10 ad, like that. So we would love that, and we've been saying that, for months and months as on the show, that it keeps us going, it keeps us confident and encourage us to go on. And we sometimes we got people that looks at the show later. It's like this: we make a pledge out. It's right there on the screen. It's flashing with different businesses right next to the telephone. That's a $10 ad spot. You can say I love the show, or you can say I hate the show. You spend $10. We're gonna put it there. It's $30 a month. It's gonna show for a whole month, or it's $90 for 3 months, and it would it could showcase whatever you want to say there, your business, your online business, your website that's selling merch or whatever. You can just put it there. It's a cheap ad. I think it's a cheap ad, cheap price, and any little can help us. Okay, so we're gonna go up to the commercial right now, and after that I'm gonna close the show, and we be back. It's NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show, and we be right back.
Let's talk about playing football.
Coming soon, New York's first youth sports football state championship, calling all surrounding cities: New York City, Long Island, Peekskill, Poughkeepsie, Albany, Binghamton, Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo. The best youth football teams in New York, ages 8 to 13, competing for a state title. For more information, email nystatechampionship@gmail.com. This championship is organized by New York for New York Youth Sports Organization, Championship Row Podcast, and NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show Incorporated.
A community fundraiser. Each of us helps one of us. Think of a community hit with an epidemic that created financial devastation, massive unemployment, housing problems, and food shortages. To help the community to weather the tough times ahead, we must pull our resources together and create a cycle of funding. A one-time resource is help required. Each of us helps one of us with this continuously cycle of support. We'll relieve the burden off of you, the individual, with the help from the community. To join our community, email us at eachofushelpsOneofus@gmail.com. Leave your name and date of birth, and we'll send you the instruction video.
To create a perfect student athlete, you must enhance these attributes: mind, body, and soul. In other words, education, fitness, and nutrition must be a part of your life. And it starts right here at the New York City Youth Sports Initiative.
Here's 5 ways to support NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show. 1. Push the subscribe button, like it, and leave a comment. 2. Donation. What you can. It will be appreciated. 3. Promote what you're doing or your kid's achievement in youth sports with our $10 on-the-screen ad spot. $10 per show or $30 a month. 4. Share this podcast show with others on social media. 5. Buy our show's apparel on Amazon.com. Thank you for your participation.
We're back, NYC Youth Sports. All right, so it's the time of the show. We're going to wrap it up. We had a short night. We want to thank Ralph Draper. We want to thank Coach O for Northeast Region, UYFL. And, thank Joe and the 7 people we got in the room. Thank you. Here, make sure you hit the red button going out. And, we will be back next week, every Wednesday, 8 o'clock, back on the same place, the same channel. Hopefully we got more information on spring ball. We definitely gonna have more information on Jason Whitlock. I'm gonna try to see if I can get a comment from him. I'm gonna try to reach out Twitter or whatever and see that he can come help the kids with this story that surfaced in a few months. He said, we can hit him up. You probably can hit him up on Twitter, right, Joe? Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
We hit him up. Can we get like a and me, can you come on our show? And he probably look at the numbers and say, "Oh man, you crazy? You got to throw us something, man. Come on, man. You got to do something, man. It's for the kids, man. Come on." It'd be an honor to have you come in. Shit, that'd be something. Yeah. I think if you get him, one-on-one and talk to him, he would love to support a show like this is for the youth. And he knows this is something new. This is something that's not done at this level. And anybody would like to help. I had I'm not going to name his name, but I was trying to get him to come on the show, and Ralph, and we really was unknown. And I'm a salesman, so I'm persistent, And I was like, Mr. So and so, Mr. So, and I said, listen, man, we're inner city radio, we're inner city podcast, and we talking about inner city kids, and it would be a blessing to have you, bless our show. And he didn't come on, but we got him up on the telephone, and we did a nice telephone conversation with him, and I was happy, saying that he is. Well, my goal is to get him in the studio now, and talk more about what he does. But I was very happy to get him because, it's sometimes they be busy, and sometimes people be they got that star power, they give it to you sometimes. Yeah. Like that star. How you get my number? How you? Then I went to I'm dropping my kid off at school, and I went to I'll call you and never call me back. But I found the topic that he was interested in, and I give him the listen, man. We're just struggling. Before I even found the topic, it was like we're an upstart show, and we'd be delighted to have you. And he was like, yeah, man. Whatever I can do to help you, man, and things of that nature, and I took advantage of that. I got a topic, and he was like, "All right," and he came on. So with that said, I'm gonna put the Twitter out there. Maybe we can get a statement, and let's hope that he might just zoom in. And that'd be a big blessing to the show to have him on and talk more intensely about this, because it's an interesting topic. Like I said, it's an interesting topic that it is some truth to it. But just imagine that kids from the same ethnic race doesn't listen to male figures from the same ethnic race. It's ridiculous to even think of something like that. And then you see the Cam Newton back and forth with the kid. Yeah, remember that one video, the Cam Newton back and forth. The kid didn't realize that you talking to somebody was there already. They're there. They're there where you trying to go. You trying to be there, and you're not there, but you back and talking. You talking back to him reckless. But so it is some merit to that. And where did it come from? And how did it stem? And let's talk about that, because that's what we do on the show. Let's talk about it. In any topic, we should be able to talk about it and come to a common ground to solve problems. And that's the key, to solve the problem, because it is a problem. All right, man, we out of here. Next week, same time, same place. Episode 35 is in the bag. Please share the show. Get it to everybody, because I know I got more viewers out there than whatever I'm getting today and last week. Come on. I don't know where these viewers went. This is ridiculous. I can get 100 by myself. And then we don't fall off from that. They want to sleep somewhere. So we is NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show, and I'm out. Thank you for listening.